and welcome to another episode of Big Motors Radio, Simon's Trucking Podcast. I am finally, once again, joined by Lexi, our safety manager, and we're just going to talk about some of the wins that Simon's Trucking has had so far in 2024, and a little bit about what is up and coming for the rest of this year. Far too often in this world, we are reminded daily between the economy and our government and our personal lives of the negativity. And there's too much negativity out there. So we just want to kind of run through some of our wins and share with you how awesome this year has truly been for Simon's Trucking. And to kick that off, Lexi, why don't you kind of give us a little bit of insight about how our in-house safety has been?
So our safety right now, I have to say I'm super, super proud of where we are right now. I went back and I looked at all these analytics and how we've been in the past, and we're progressively getting better and better. And that has a lot to do with our drivers and, you know, what they do on the road and how much pride they put into their work, and us in the shop and the office and so on and so forth. The one thing I wanted to mention was our CSA. And honestly, with all the basics, like your unsafe driving, hours of service, vehicle maintenance, so on and so forth, our numbers are so historically low right now from what we've had, you know, in years past. And one of the big ones, you know, is our unsafe driving. In the past, we used to have, you know, speeding events or lane departures or whatever, or lane restrictions or whatever it might be. But with all of our safety standards and all of our drivers that are putting the pride that they're putting into their work here, a lot of that is diminished. A lot.
It is truly, you know, from week to week when you're sending out those numbers, it's amazing to see where everybody is at. But can you tell me about what you think is the contributing factors in all of this?
I would say a big contributing factor is just simply the drivers. Our drivers are second to none. We have quality here. They take so much pride in what they do, and they respect us as well.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we're not making decisions for them or for you if you're a driver here. We're not making decisions for you, but we give you recommendations. You know, you're out on the road, the dispatchers put you on a load. They're not going to set you up for failure. They have everything in their back of their mind of, okay, in order for them to get there on time, how much time do I need to give them to be safe and do it legal, and, you know, all those factors. Vehicle maintenance is a big thing too. We have preventative maintenance here, right? You look at these trucks behind us and they're beautiful. They look great. Our drivers keep them clean on the inside.
Yes.
You know, they do everything in their power to show that pride out on the road. And I think that's very, very helpful with, you know, DOT. When they see us, they look at us and they're like, wow, that's a really nice piece of equipment. Either I'm not going to bother, or you know what, let's do a random roadside inspection. And when we do that, guess what? Over 75% of our inspections are clean.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And that hands down is everything to our preventative maintenance and our shop, and then our drivers, because they get nice equipment, so they respect that equipment.
Right.
And in turn, that helps with lowering all of those inspections. And if
Absolutely.
we do get those, they're a win.
Yeah, generally they're a win. And I love it here because I always tell the guys, you know, if you're there for a level 2 or level 3, why not sit there and just ask for a level 1? You know it's going to be okay. We have great trucks, trailers, so on and so forth. You know, our drivers do what they need to do to make sure that they're in compliance. And a level 1, you know, you get paid for it here. We pay them $100 every time, so
Might as well.
May as well ask.
Might as well.
And you know, one of the things that I would like to say is a lot of people want to know, like, well, how can I contribute to this? And the biggest recommendation that I would ask or say is you want to prevent the preventable pullover. So prevent the preventable inspection. You have to have patience out on the road. You can control what you do in that truck, but you can't control the actions around you.
Absolutely not.
So that person next to you, you see them texting and driving, and it's like, what are you doing? But you know that I'm doing the right thing. Everything that we're doing here in the truck, in the cab of our truck, is the right thing. We're following the law, we're following regulations, we're following recommendations that we might give you as well. And you're doing the right thing, no matter what the others are doing around you. Like for us, if you're ever pulled over and you have an inspection, whether it's vehicle maintenance or something that you just felt like it's not accurate at all, or I think this is BS, you contact me, or if you're at a different employer, you contact your employer and you data queue it. There's no use on having something on your record or the company's record if it's not accurate. And a lot of people like forget about the data cues where you don't agree with what that officer stated. Okay, let's try to fight it.
Get to the bottom of it and find out what truly happened.
Absolutely. Our CSA is great. Our accident rates are very low. Our drivers overall are doing an amazing job. We have a quarterly bonus that I'm sure you guys have heard about. And with that, the majority of our drivers are maxing it out.
Right. We're rewarding it. I mean, being a good, safe driver and, getting to drive a nice truck and doing all these things that you love and having a job that you can take pride in, and then getting rewarded for being a good, safe driver and doing your job properly.
And it might be a biased statement, but honestly, when you look around at other companies, I really, truly feel like our bonus is second to none.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And from the recruiting side, when I talk to those potential incoming drivers and I tell them, what we have paid out so far this year in safety bonuses, and it's astonishing. And to me, I'm like, but it's worth it. It's what we do.
Absolutely.
It's for them, because if we treat our drivers right, if we treat you guys correctly, then I won't have a job pretty soon because you're all going to stay.
And that's another thing. Our retention rates are great. Our turnover is low. I mean, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but man, we have some really great milestones coming up with people here that have been here for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll be right back.
Well, I started in 1972 with them, Roger and Junior. They stopped me on Main Street there coming home from my other job one day. I was just out of high school, and that following Tuesday, I started working there.
I've had other good jobs. I've had other really good jobs, but nothing compares to Simon's.
They're on top of things. They're beyond organized.
Safety here and efficiency are like they're together.
George wouldn't have been here as long as he had been if he didn't like it.
I always tell RJ, the day you make me mad, I'll just have to clean the truck out and go home, and you ain't gonna go home. It's just been fantastic, and that's why I stay working here.
They really owe it to themselves to give it a look at.
The majority of them that I talked to always said they wish they came here a long time ago,
I wish I would have found this earlier in my life. You are appreciated, and that don't always come true in the driving industry.
Simon's have been the best for me, all the way around, from equipment, office people, shop people, other drivers. Nothing but the best in my book.
It's been a hell of a ride. It really has been.
So welcome back. A few other fun little wins that we've had so far in 2024. We were nominated, and not only nominated, but we were a finalist for Best Fleets to Drive For. So we were one of the top 60 companies. I actually just looked up this stat yesterday. We were in like the top 60 across the board for one of the best fleets to drive for in this country. And how does that come about? You, I know, had to head up a lot of stuff when it came to getting the correct paperwork together for Best Fleets. What all did you have to do for that?
So first and foremost, a driver had to nominate us. So we were nominated by a driver, and then it turns into almost like an interview process. So I want to say it was probably a 10-page questionnaire that asked several questions. How was our safety? How do drivers feel about you? So on and so forth. And they even interviewed other drivers too, where they asked drivers questions and kind of wanted to get that insight as far as what they thought, and not just what our responses were in the office, because we see things different than y'all would see. And it was a really interesting
it was a long process. I think
process.
It started in just December or something like that, and I don't think we heard until February or March, but it was a great honor to be nominated one of the finalists in Best Fleets to Drive For, and hopefully it'll come our way again sometime, and next time maybe we'll be top 20 or a fleet to watch. But until then, I will take being
a finalist.
I mean, there were thousands upon thousands of companies that were nominated, and to be one of the top 60 is truly an honor. There is a publication in the state of Iowa called Iowa's Farmers Today, and it's an online publication, but they had asked their readers some of their best and favorite companies throughout the state of Iowa, whether it was a car dealership, grocery stores, everything across the board. And we were just notified a couple weeks back that Simon's Trucking was in the top 3. We were nominated a favorite trucking company, Best of Iowa, Cream of the Crop 2024.
Amazing.
And did make me chuckle a little bit because one of our trucks is called Cream of the Crop. So when we got the email, I was like, cream of the crop.
I feel like we should post a photo.
Oh, we should. Well, thank you so much to whomever out there nominated us for that. It is great to know that we are favorite. Not only nationwide did we make best fleets, but in the state of Iowa, we are a favorite as far as trucking companies go. So that's a fantastic honor. So just the other day, I received an email about this person sitting next to me. Lexi, in September, will be heading to Cedar Rapids for the Iowa Motor Truck Association's Management Conference, as she was nominated for a Safety Professional of the Year award. Safety, as you obviously have heard throughout this podcast so far, is truly one of the biggest factors in how we succeed here in Simons. And the safety scorecard that we talk about from time to time and the safety bonus that was implemented at the beginning of last year was Lexi's baby. Without Lexi, we wouldn't be here today as far as safety goes. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We decided to snag a couple more drivers today. We are with Eric. Eric, how long have you been with Simons?
Year and a half.
A year and a half. I remember that first conversation with you. You were like so quiet on the phone, but I'm very loud, so I can scare people away sometimes. But we just wanted to pull him in and pick his brain a little bit about what he sees out on the road. So I think Lexi had some questions for you.
Yeah, so I guess one of my biggest questions are, like, when it comes to CSA, we're always out on alert for DOT and scales and things of that sort. Where are you seeing the majority of the DOT right now?
Patrolling the highways.
Being
more mobile.
Being more mobile?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you have a clean record.
I hope so.
He has a clean record. CSA, we haven't had any violations with Eric. So are there certain things that you do out on the road to safeguard your safety, your record?
Pretty much be prepared for everything and watch everything around you. Traffic, trucks, cars. I was always told, don't expect the unexpected.
I like that.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected. Absolutely.
So, if you think somebody's going to do something, they're not going to do it.
Right.
They're not going to use their turn signals. They're not going to do, merge on and off right or nothing. So you just sort of
anticipate the actions of others.
Yeah. Pretty much pay attention to see what they are.
I like that. I like that a lot. Scale houses, are they up and popping? They're all open, or are you seeing a lot of pull-ins right now?
Oh, pull-ins, hits and miss.
Hits and
Depends on
miss.
what day it is.
Yep.
But you can notice they're pretty much more inspecting on the road, watching more trucks.
Yep.
And everything else.
Okay. I like that.
You tend to go out west a little bit more than some of our other drivers. Do you think that you run into more of the mobile because it's like more wide open space that way, versus where if you're going east, it could maybe more be like a sitting duck type of situation, or is it kind of hit and miss?
Hit and miss. You see more like, roadside inspections.
Okay.
They're the East Coast to the Midwest. I think they're, randomly pull this truck over to do a fast inspection. Like I did, I think it was in Illinois. They just randomly pull you over.
Okay.
And they run the DOT number. The guy said, it's an easy picking, I guess you would call it. And they we're just going to, do a fast walk around, check your paperwork, and okay, clean record, you're on your way.
I think that's almost like a sense of pride because they're saying we're easy to pick on because if they can't find anything wrong, then they're just done.
I have to do an inspection today. This guy's going to be quick. Let's do that one.
Basically, that's what the guy told me. He said, he goes, we're going to make this quick. You didn't do anything wrong. He goes, we're just going to check your paperwork, where you come from, where you're going. Okay, you're done.
I like that. I like it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this time. This conversation was awesome.
Thank you so much for taking your time out and
I love to anticipate what others are doing.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest takeaway that I got from
absolutely. Pay attention to your surroundings, because
too many years of doing this.
Just because you think somebody might do something doesn't mean you're gonna
exactly.
Yeah.
You're listening to Big Motors Radio, presented by Simons Trucking.
Welcome back. We are still in the shed today, and we're here with Jeff It's very weird calling you Jeff, by the way. That's just.
I know. You don't want to hear the story how I got my nickname either.
I'll save that for another time.
No, I don't know if you want to hear that.
What are some of the things? I mean, obviously you're out there in the thick of it, but where are you most seeing the DOT right now?
Oh, in Iowa, Highway 20, Interstate 35. That's about, and 61.
Yeah. Are they more on the move, or are they like sitting at way stations? What are they kind of doing these days?
They're more sitting in the median and pulling them over on the shoulder, and
They're active right now.
Oh,
They're out there, they're watching, and kind of to piggyback off of that, they're out there. So what is it that you do specifically to really like prevent that pullover?
well, trying to not be following somebody too close, changing lanes too fast, and speed.
Yeah. Following the law.
Yeah.
Following the signs.
Yep.
I like
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Do you find, because you've got a pretty nice looking truck these days, all of our trucks are nice, but you've got a pretty sharp looking truck out there. Do you find that when you have a nicer, sharper looking truck, they target you more, or is that not the case?
No, I think they see that you take care of your equipment and stuff and keep it clean, that, you're looking at stuff and, little details you do to your truck. They know you take care of your equipment.
Do you have any insight for our viewers on anything when it comes to CSA, accidents, DOT? Do you have anything that you'd like to just really point out, no matter what it is?
Try to stay focused. I mean, on your surroundings, traffic. Don't just be, I guess, alert.
Yeah, be alert. Always be thinking and be scanning, right?
Yeah.
Kind of,
check your mirrors constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, you might look like a weirdo, doing this, but
the day you're too comfortable in the truck is probably the day you should hang it up.
oh yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Well, thank you so
you.
much for taking
Oh,
time
no
out of your
problem.
day, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're listening to Big Motors Radio, presented by Simon's Trucking.
Driver Appreciation Week.
Yes.
Probably my favorite week of the year.
Definitely my favorite.
I love to celebrate all of our drivers.
Yes.
And we've got some really good stuff planned this year.
I think this year's probably going to be the best one yet.
I mean, we build on it every year. It's always really good, but I think this year is going to take the cake.
Without giving too much away, we have some really cool giveaways. We're going to incorporate everybody. Majority, obviously it's Driver Appreciation Week, so it's driver based, but you know what? We got to celebrate our office and shop too, here and there. Right?
Absolutely. Office and shop are going to get treated well. Also, those drivers that can't get back into the office because they're out on the road, we've got stuff in store for you as well, so hang tight.
At the end of the week, then, we celebrate with a big celebration with everyone, drivers, office, shop, all involved, where awards will be given out, food will be consumed.
Lots of it.
We have a really cool special guest coming that's going to have some entertainment there. But I think the big one is really celebrating some of these milestones that we're approaching
so
this
many.
year.
We have one employee that's celebrating 30 years.
Yes.
30 years for one.
2 for 20.
I'm thinking, I'm like 3 for 10 years.
Yep.
4, 5 for 15, and numerous that have been here for 5 years.
Yeah, over a dozen at least.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be such a fun night, such great awards. Plus, we always do some fun little awards as well. So you never know what your name could be called for, whether you've been here for 3 months, or 6 months, or 30 years.
I mean, we do have someone here, 52?
52
years.
52 years this year.
That just kind of tells you leaps and bounds on
it's crazy.
Yeah, who we are.
We hire to retire.
Yeah.
It's the plan. We hire to retire.
I like that quote.
But speaking of hiring to retiring,
yep.
What do we offer these guys? What are we looking for in a driver? I know what we're looking for currently in a driver because that is my day to day. I mean, if you live anywhere between Iowa and Pennsylvania and you're on that I-70 or I-90 corridor, I can pretty much entertain employment for you. Same with Iowa to Kansas from, I-35 down to Salina. I can pretty much entertain employment for you. So if you're watching or listening and you're a good, safe driver and you're along that line, call me. I'll put my number in here. Give me a call.
And even if you're not in that area or that
Exact
corridor,
area, yeah.
still give her a call, or you can go to our website. If you're not ready to put in an application, there's
Absolutely.
a spot to just put your name and phone number, and we can contact you, and Abby can really have that discussion. But even if you're not in that corridor,
Right.
we'll entertain anything. It just really depends on you.
Right. If you're flexible, if you don't really care what your home time is, I can absolutely entertain that.
Sky's the limit.
If you are along that corridor, I can usually do weekly to bi-weekly home time, and I think that's huge. Like, we want you to get home and see your family. Like, we don't want to keep you away from them. What are some things that, as a driver, we're kind of looking for as far as like placing trust in us?
Right. So I think the biggest thing that I would probably state is when you come here, we have a plan, and if you can place trust into your fleet manager that they're going to set you up for success, you're going to be successful. You might come in and you might have a short run that will follow up with a long run, or vice versa, but they have your best interests at heart. And honestly, trust is the biggest thing. Build that trust with your fleet manager. They're building trust with you, and you can have a really, really great career here. And alongside of kind of like building that trust, there's other contributing factors or things that you speak about to these guys, like the bonus or like how that pay works.
We have a great pay structure. We have a great safety bonus, but we also have the benefits, and we have the 401k, and we have a 401k match. But like I said, really and truly, if you're flexible with when you want to be home, even if that home time is weekly, you want to be home every week, but you're okay to leave on Saturday and get home on Thursday, or you're okay to leave on Sunday and get home Friday, or Monday to Saturday. Being able to be flexible in what you're looking for just takes that to such a different level for us, because those runs that are available then are so much different. We have a great customer base, but right now our busiest area is Iowa to Pennsylvania, and we run Northeast. So if you're out there and you're listening and that's something that sounds great to you, please give me a call. Let's have a conversation. Let's open up that dialogue and see what we could potentially do for you. If you don't live in that area, give me a call. I can talk to operations and see what we could possibly do for you. I love having that conversation. I love opening that door, because even if it's not right now, it could be 6 weeks from now. It could be 6 months from now. I mean, this is the transportation industry. Things are always changing.
Always evolving, always changing. I agree.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Big Motors Radio, Simon's Trucking Podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe. The more you guys do for us, the more it's visible for others, and we would love to be seen on all sorts of platforms. But thank you so much, Lexi, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So great to have you back.
I'll be back again. I'll be back again.
It's been a while, but have a wonderful day. Please be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.